How you doing, everybody? My name is Jack Lopella. Thanks for joining us here on the Racing Jack YouTube channel as we get set to go, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot wait. What a beautiful day it is here in Bakersfield, California. Today we're at the look at this line of chemistry. Big event coming up later on today. Of course, this is our version of the Prix show. Take a look out there. It's two-stroke lemonade, four-stroke lemonade, 122 to 150 category, two-stroke, four-stroke out there as well. 25 plus junior B, two-stroke women B, as we give you a look high above beautiful Delano, California, about 30 miles north of Bakersfield. Prime conditions. Stepping into the booth with me just in time for the start, our resident expert, fresh off his victory, Mr. Mark Tilley. Good morning, Mark.
What's happening? Man, that track, it might not look like it, but it's rough already. But man, the conditions are pretty awesome.
Well, it was awesome to see your triumphant return. If you guys didn't follow us closely, Mark unfortunately had a crash, and Laughlin was pretty banged up. He made his comeback today. I asked you right before you went out, podium performance. You said, no, I'm going to win this thing. And you did, man. So congratulations. Mark, we're looking at the future stars of tomorrow. A lot of riding talent out there. What do you think's going through these riders' minds right now as we get ready to kick off a brand new season?
You know what? There's a lot of new kids that came up, and then there's a lot of kids that are kind of veterans of this. This is the feeder class into what we're going to see next with the A guys, and I have a couple test riders. My son Jacob Tilley is in this right there, number 5 on his back, and then right next to him is Carson Tryon. Carson actually got the whole shot yesterday and was moving. He was out there, and then he had a little bit of a shock malfunction. His shock, the body came loose and started losing, but ended up finishing 3rd overall. I think second in class. There's Amari Arnold as a moto kid that's come over to this, and we'll see if he can hang with these off-road guys for 45 minutes. But there's also a young man, last name Price, that got a flat yesterday, but he's I believe it's a 522 right there. But he's one to watch. So lots of really good riders, and again, it's the future of our sport. Yesterday there was people off in the grass yesterday, so maybe some of those people not staying for today, but you know what, we got lots of action ready to come to you. And again, this is some of these guys' first time on the live feed.
That's right. We are excited to bring it to you. We want to thank L&M Media Productions, Ross Fitz Productions, all the boys here working hard with us for the 2026 campaign. Excited. 2 more races this year in NGPC. We'll be up to 10 rounds. And let me back up for 1 second. In case you're finding this race and you're completely new to this series, it's a dead engine start. They will have to shut them off, and we're going to go 45 minutes. 45 minutes through this 7-mile course. They'll wait for that light to turn green as we give you a look high above beautiful agricultural country here in California. It's time to go racing. The 2026 season is off. Somebody way out in front. Is that Armani? Keep an eye on him.
Look, I don't want to speculate, but he might have started his bike a little bit before some of the other guys.
Goodness.
He looked like he was on it and moving before a lot of the other guys were. But if not, great reaction time right there by Amari. And we'll see if he can hang on. That's Carson Tryon in second. And then now we're going off for the second line.
Yeah, multiple different categories blasting off. We'll keep you abreast of everything. As I said, we've got the women out there. We've got B and C. This is the future of the sport. Great ladder system out here to let these individuals climb up. Somebody way out in front on a Yamaha. That's
YZ
a wonderful
252
feeling.
Stroke going for it.
Isn't that cool, too? I wish we had Scratch and Sniff here on Racing Jack YouTube. I just wanted to blow some of that wonderful 2-stroke smoke. And look at this, the kickstart procedure here. A lot of these 2-strokes, not with electric start. We are off. I think this is our 125cc category?
That looks like it. All Yamaha's in 1 KTM, it looks like. And the bikes that are kickstart got there before the electric bike.
So everybody will be out there at one time running different categories. We'll get it very, very busy. We'll probably see some of these individuals run into lappers throughout 45 minutes, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What's kind of nice about this is we don't get to see this section of this class, kind of featured very often. Usually I'm getting ready to do the live feed with you, and it's kind of nice. I see a lot of familiar faces or familiar gear that are hanging out with my kids in the pits afterwards. Mine and Bob Tryon's kids just hanging out, and you kind of see kids around in their gear, and now I'm kind of recognizing them a little bit. So it's definitely a cool thing.
Look at this start as we scream towards that first turn. One of the fastest courses on tour. Look at this battle, bar to bar, to kick things off between the two young ladies on KTMs, making a move to the outside. Look at this. We've got a drag race already. Famoso Dragway would be proud, not too far away up here in racing country. Wow. These off-camber turns, these sweepers are unbelievable. And just look at how massive this field is. What a great turnout. What a tremendous way to start the season for AMA and GPC. Another big bottleneck as we head into that first sweeper. And, Mark, a lot of the country right now so jealous of California because it is freezing. They are facing some frozen temperatures, but here we are racing. We had Supercross in San Diego yesterday. Desert Boys were getting after it in Parker. And now today, NGPC, Delano, California, north of Bakersfield.
There's still 3 more lines that have to go off. So, and this is the second day of racing. A lot of people will come for the first day, and then they'll go home. But this is a second day of racing. You can race both days. I like that about NGPC. It looks like that little 85 showing the big bikes how it's done.
That's what's great, too, is talent is the great equalizer, right? It's not just about displacement. We're seeing some of the small bikes mix it up with some of the big bikes in the open categories. Talked to a young lady this morning on a YZ85, punched out the 105, beating some of the bigger ladies with 250s.
Yeah, no, and that's the nice part about NGPC. Like, we're starting to feature some of the amateur riders, but there's classes for everybody. I have a couple kids. Austin just moved up to the 85 class and raced an 85 class, and Jacob's moved up from the 125 class, and now he's in the 250 class. So there's something for everyone, which is really nice.
And check out the big man, the V636. Got to do some videos on him last year. He is awesome. If you think you're too big to ride dirt bikes, that gentleman, 380 pounds out there, and he often gets the whole shot. How about that? He's got work to do today, that's for sure. But it just goes and show you, it doesn't matter what age you are, what gender you are, there is a place out here for you on a dirt bike.
Well, and I had to pass him yesterday. And
not the easiest guy to pass.
Not the easiest guy to pass, but also, man, that looks like an 08 CR 450. That thing throws some roof.
I bet it does. I bet it does, with 380 pounds of solid muscle over that rear tire. And here comes some more young ladies as we send our last few competitors off. That is it. The start line is clear. It is now 45 minutes to a finish. You have to be highly conditioned. Your fitness has to be on point to survive this series. This is race number 1 of 10. So glad to have you along with us. Again, my name is Jack Rapella from the Racing Jack YouTube channel. Mark Tilley from Dirt Bike Magazine alongside me. This broadcast being brought to you by Racing Jack. So thanks so much, and thanks to all the great sponsors who have stepped up and have supported our endeavor and wanting to shine the spotlight on the amateur racers, because it's what it's all about. We could be looking at the next Dante Oliveira. We could be looking at the next Dare DeMartille somewhere in this group.
Well, and the people we're going to see a little bit later on in the A class, there's a couple riders, 3 or 4 riders, I believe, that have transferred out of this class right here, and they're now in the A class going into, I know Connor DeJarnay is one of them. He was in the 125, won the 125 class championship last year, and then went up. So he will be in that race as well, just kind of getting their feet wet. And then one of my test riders, Harlem Nelson, was in this class a few years back, and so it's kind of nice to see. But it looks like out front, that's Amari Arnold going through the moto type section that they have. It looks like there might be a Cowie right on the back of him.
Wow.
Not sure who that will be. Might be Lucky, and it might be Jacob Tilley on that brand new Kawasaki that they had. We just put together. Actually, he made the decision to race after taking some time off. Made the decision to race on Tuesday. So,
very cool. Well, we'll keep an eye on Tilley. Hopefully he moves up. And Mark Tilley, wait till you hear this story, because I got to visit with Armani a little bit. Do you know this is his debut in off-road racing, believe it or not. He comes from a very decorated motocross background, qualified for Loretta's last year, but I just can't believe this is his very first race, and he has been the man to beat in this category.
Yeah, and it's coming over, we might call it beginner's luck, but a lot of those guys kind of look at it and go, well, we haven't, he's got a lot of competition, a lot of stuff to go on, and I don't think that's Jacob, but it is a Kawasaki in second. We'll have to get his name. There's Carson, and then Tryon, Price, and then we'll see who's coming in next. Number 42, number 711. Here we go. I have to get a sheet down.
It was a busy night for Carson and his father. As you mentioned, they had to swap out suspension after they had a problem yesterday. They took the suspension off the practice bike, and there's the aforementioned leader, Mari from Marietta, California, 16 years old, former football standout. Asked him how he got in this sport. He said it was all from watching a Hayden Deegan video, and then his mom bought him a razor, and he's been hooked ever since. There's the Kawasaki in second. Right now, we'll try to give you some information.
He's got a really big tank on that motorcycle.
Some of that is the H642, it looks like. Moving at a very brisk pace out there. We'll get you a name here in just a second as we welcome you once again. Please, guys, give this a share. Drop a comment down below where you're watching from, what brand you're rooting for, and how long you've been subscribed to this channel. We're so happy you're here with us as we give you a look at what has to be one of the most picturesque scenic racing facilities out there, right next to a citrus farm, which is why that fast straightaway is appropriately named Orange Blossom Expressway.
I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting.
Boys here from SoCal MX. I don't know, Mark, if you even heard, but they tried to slow this track down a little bit. They've added a few pickers.
And they did a pretty good job. There's some jumps that aren't normally there, little jumps, but they actually did do some new corners and stuff like that. It doesn't look like it, but it's actually really, really high speed. So coming into this area, I know they got some pretty crazy fog that rolls in here during this time of year from the moisture and stuff like that. So if you look, like, everybody's kind of going down the main line. There's lots of more track, and I'm sure that in the pro race we'll be able to see a lot more of that track being used. But right now there was a lot of moisture this morning. It kind of almost like it rained without raining. So I know with the minis that were out there this morning, goggles fogging up and all kinds of stuff. So a little bit different atmosphere at this one. It's kind of the kickoff. This is the A1 of NGPC, but some nerves. Some people get out there and kind of blow themselves up, as we've seen on the professional level. But here's the Yamaha finish line, and that's Amari coming through in first. And
Mark, I believe behind him, this is Timmy Delcid on a Kawasaki. Runs the open category. Boy, he's really stepped up and brought his A game here today.
Exactly. I think he won their race overall. And then that's Carson Tryon and Mr. Price in third.
His dad was cracking me up, owner of Stony Socks over there. They were cracking a cold monster, I think. I said, is it beer 30 already? He said, no, we drank all the beer last night, rooting for the Denver Broncos. And then we found out Bo Nix broke his ankle and we had to drink the rest of our beer. So they are unfortunately out of beer at Stony if they have to celebrate. But I'm sure either way, they'll be plenty happy if Carson can move up through this pack. He's doing a fine job.
Yeah, no, Carson's riding better than I've seen Carson ride before. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of confidence and get out there and run. He's been working really hard in the off season and making things happen. So Precision Concepts got his bike working really good. That Team 311 KTM. I know that AEO Power Sports helps them out a lot. So again, one of my test riders at Dirt Bike Magazine. So I'm pretty stoked on the confidence, and knew he could do it for a while, and now he's actually putting it all together. So yesterday he was Amari got out front, and Carson was gaining on him in some of the race, and then he had that shock issue. So maybe he can kind of get up there and play around. Again, the motocross is 15-20 minutes maybe. This is double that. So it's we'll see.
Whoa! Out of shape is the 522.
That's Price, I believe.
Some phantom braking bumps out there. Some phantom.
In this section, it's a lot slippery, or it's a lot slicker than it looks. That main line kind of has the traction, but it's a lot slicker than it looks. So this drone shot is amazing.
It really
Our
is.
crew just doing some amazing drone shots. It gives you kind of that. Whenever I look at pictures of this track, especially when it's green like this, it reminds me of that Fox ad that had a picture of a grass track and just said "Dream On."
Yes, we don't have to dream, and wherever you may be watching from, we want to bring this into your living room, on your device, on your TV. Again, down below in the comments, let me know where you are watching from. We've got so much to talk about here at this season opening race. I was walking through the pits, got to see a couple Ducatis out here. We saw Ducati make their big Supercross debut. This will be their off-road debut here this weekend, as this place is just absolutely packed with amateurs, all different makes. Silly season, our version of the hot stove was in full effect. We got new riders, new teams to talk about, and a lot of great racing to bring you. So we're so happy you're watching along with us here from Delano, California, an area known for agriculture and table grapes. Have you had any table grapes yet?
What are table grapes?
They are
Are
those
they
just big,
grapes?
juicy, purple, big ones. That
As big as a table?
That's right. Just how you said this is kind of remind you of the Fox ad, all those wonderful grape ads you probably have ever seen. They come from Delano, California. As you can tell, I'm not used to California being this green. I mean, SoCal is pretty barren most of the year.
They've gotten so much rain. I mean, California in general and Southern California has gotten a lot of rain, but with this place, I was talking to Justin Schultz, one of the SoCal MC guys that has a lot to do with this event. He said that in December this thing was pretty much underwater, so it's kind of cool that the SoCal MCs have done such a great job with this course. This is one of the sections that they've actually slowed down. This used to be like a pretty gnarly drop off right there. But like you make the right here, and it used to just go straight up. Now there's a little jump before it. It's got to kind of slow you down into that section. So really interesting, and it looks like Tyler Price and Carson Tryon starting to stalk our Kawasaki rider.
Yeah, we got a nice 1-2-3 battle shaping up here. Looks like Armani's kind of checked out. We'll see if he can keep up the pace. As you mentioned, he's not used to races this long. He did tell me, though, he trains at Glen Helen, and he said, I asked him, is the high speed bothering you? And he said, hey, after you train at Glen Helen, you're used to going pretty darn fast. But he said he was getting that KTM 250 into high gear very quickly here. Is this a situation where you could actually run out of gear on a 250?
Oh, yeah, you do for sure. And he's not that far out there. I know that for the first lap, we saw him looking back a lot. And that's definitely not something you want to do on a high-speed track like this. But he's kind of, they can still kind of keep him in sight and kind of go from there. It's nice grouping right there. But so then the other part where they slowed it down right here is they put a pre-jump before this. That's so much fun because you can just send that thing. And then this is what did you say? It was the Orange
Blossom Expressway. You see the orange trees, the aforementioned citrus trees to your left here in beautiful picturesque Delano.
You're topping out about halfway down that
Unbelievable.
thing. And then you kind of look at it and go, oh, well, I'll gear up for more gearing. And I look at that and go, I don't want to go any faster than that.
I mean, this series, especially this track, it's like there's elements of road racing here, elements of desert racing. It is just who can hold it wide open. But then you also have the very finesse moto section that we're taking a look at now. I got to ask you, Mark, too, because I was down on pit road right where they're about to hit right now, and it looked like some of these jumps are getting pretty blue groove. That combined with the wet weather that we've had today, was that making it slippery out there?
It's actually got really good traction on the main lines. Oh, it looks like Tyler Price trying to go around the outside of Carson Tryon.
Carson not giving him any. Oh, he got him.
Got the pass made around the outside.
As Carson continues to dig through this 45-minute affair here.
This section in the pro class, they're going to go off if they need to pit off to the left right there. And then this is a nice booter jump too. It's kind of fun. And then you kind of come into some so that section right in there has surprisingly really good traction. And then when you come into this these chicanes right here, really good traction. So it looks like they're catching our Kawasaki rider. They're right on him now.
Amazing. We've got a great battle shaping up, guys. This is where the off-season training comes into play. Who put in the hours in the gym and on the bike over the winter.
And what we've seen in past years, it's been a lot drier than what it is now by about this time of the day. What we're seeing with all the mist and the fog and all that is it's keeping the track moist. And then because it is moist, it packs down harder. So there's a lot, if you look at their suspension, there's a lot of moving around on the suspension. Lots of acceleration bumps, lots of braking bumps. So, whoa, Amari off the track there a little bit.
Maybe you said, will he feel some fatigue? Maybe.
Yeah, already looking
yesterday.
Back. That's not a good thing.
Oh, this isn't a 20-minute moto, is it? This is a 45-minute affair. In our pro categories, we'll go 90 minutes. But Amari, I would say, big tip of the cap to him. But you got to remember, being that this is his first off-road race, not used to going this long. And
they're starting to make up some time on him, it looks like.
It's a miserable experience if you start getting arm pump or the fatigue monster creeps up on you about halfway through.
Yeah, it's definitely not. And these guys. Price stalls
off
it.
the track. Carson trying to make a move on him. We got a battle between these KTMs.
He wasn't aggressive enough.
Carson seems to be feeling a lot more comfortable today with the new suspension on the motorcycle. Let's see if he can capitalize on that bobble, on that mistake, and not let his competition get too far away. Looks like we've got multiple lines out there. Is it a multiple line racetrack, Mark?
You can see two grooves in there. This section of the track, you can see where they're going into certain sections. It's just like Supercross, where it's going to be, quote unquote, the fast line. But I think that our pros are going to be able to go off. Those are really off to the left-hand side where you could see there's lots of chunks, and not having a lot of big bikes on the track. Most of the bikes that were out there this morning, there was a big bike in classified, and then we just had small bikes out there. So, and then the only other race would have been the race I was in with the 40 class. So not a lot of people out there breaking in the track and breaking in lines. So hopefully that makes it better for our pros to where they can come in and make those lines. But like all in here, you got to kind of search the outside. Carson doing a really good job finding those lines and doing that. But this is pretty dry, and that's what we're normally used to on this track. It gets dry before it kind of gets rough, and then it gets blue groove, where this year, because the moisture's in the track, like you can see him going into those turns and coming out of that, like there's bumps there, so it's getting rough. So suspension setup, making sure that the suspension setup is on par is definitely really, really important.
Yeah, and again, guys, let me know if you are new to racing, if you're new to this channel down below. We'll back up, as sometimes we use these terminologies and just assume everybody knows. When Mark talks about Blue Groove, he's talking about a section being so hard packed that it's actually collecting some rubber like pavement would, and it turns blue almost. But this track, as you can see, it's in some sections it's so loose and loamy. It's I know the debate in the pits was, should you go with a hard pack tire or an intermediate tire? A lot of mechanics saying hard pack. I know Dare DeMartille, for instance, he won the battle against his father. He decided to stay with the intermediate tire here today. What are you liking, Mark?
Well, you know what? I ran a little bit older Dunlop that comes stock on the KX450X, the AT81, mainly because it was mounted.
That helps, right?
That tire worked great. It depends on what you're going for. I think at the professional level, maybe like an AT82 Dunlop, or maybe one of the Battle Axe Bridgestones. I believe that the Beta team is on a Bridgestone, and they have, I think it's the Battle Axe 20, and that kind of takes the place of what everybody else would be talking about, the AT81 or AT82 and the MX34. It kind of takes both of those up. So it kind of depends on what your riding style is. If you're going to be in the groove, riding in the groove, then yeah, you're probably going to want something a little bit harder. But if you're going to be, kind of searching for other lines, then you might want to go with something a little bit for softer to train, to get that mud in and out of the tires. But I mean, look, they're not letting Amari get away. He looks like he's standing up a little bit more, but Price after that stall. They haven't been able to make a move on our Kawasaki rider in second overall right now. So we'll see if they can mount that charge. But right now we got a couple KTMs sandwiched up against a Kawasaki. And I believe they're 250Fs. The only open bike there, I know Carson's on a 250. Tyler Price is on a 250. Mari should be on a 250 as well. And I think that our Kawasaki rider is the only one on a 450.
About 20 minutes gone in this season opening 45-minute affair to kick things off here on the Racing Jack YouTube channel. What a tremendous battle. We are watching round number 1 of the AMA National Grand Prix Championship Series. And my goodness, this place just packed with amateurs all weekend long. So nice to see the camaraderie. A lot of people camping out, barbecuing, having a good time. Where else would you rather be on a January weekend than right here racing?
That section that they just went through was another section that they slowed down with some, I guess, kind of some stutter jumps or what. But that's coming from the other side. Now they're coming over onto the side. This side gets a lot more sun, to be honest. You can't really tell that it's sunnier, but this side gets a lot more sun than the other side. So the traction is kind of a little bit better because it's a little bit drier, a little bit. Oh, Carson looking back. Not a good thing.
Uh-oh. Fatigue, this track will take a lot out of you. Going this fast, hanging on that tight. The moto section, here comes the number 1 through the Yamaha finish chute. We'll try to get you some of these other names and numbers as we progress through this. Again, multiple categories out there, the 2 strokes, the 4 strokes, but this is the battle we're keeping an eye on. Is Armani starting to roll off the pace a little bit?
When we see him out of the corner of our screen on the right-hand side, him coming down. So it looks like the Cowie rider, is that
H642? I got Timmy Delksid.
Okay, so I think Timmy's making some time up on Amari out there in front, but this is the battle to watch. This is Carson Tryon and Tyler Price going at it, and these guys were in the and raced yesterday, and that's the interesting part about yesterday's track and today's track as well. Today's track is completely different. It might be the same turns and the same jumps, but the conditions are completely different because of the overnight moisture. The track has developed a lot different, so very interesting on your bike setup. If you had a bike that set up really good yesterday, might be a little bit stiff today, but like I said, just a different kind of scenario here today. And then this is going down that orange highway. And this jump right here is probably the most fun jump on the track because they're just sending it.
Orange Blossom Expressway, living up to its reputation. It is an unmitigated drag race down that stretch, hitting top speed. To Mark's point about the weather, when I woke up about 30 minutes south of here in Bakersfield, I thought that I was in Boston. You couldn't see 5 feet in front of you with all the fog. It's absolutely crazy. It was misty, it was soggy, and we saw it was a little wet yesterday as well, so that has really put a lot of moisture in the ground, which is quite a bit different than what we're used to oftentimes when we come here and it's drought-like conditions. So I think that you tell me, Mark, but I feel like that extra moisture has really helped keep the dust down. And
oh, yeah, it's going to make it great for the guys. I got to give a shout-out to C267, Cash Griffin, in leading the 122 to 150cc class. I know he's out there on his pro circuit YZ 125. His dad actually bought that bike off of the Dent Dock. So that is that's Kai Hunter's old motorcycle, but making it look really good. So congratulations to Cash out there leading the way in the 125 division, and this is Amari Arnold leading the way in the open division, making it happen. Still got our Kawasaki rider Timmy Delcid in position 2, and Tyler Price in 3 with Carson Tryon on his Stony Sock back KTM 250 in 4th. So really cool to see a new rider coming out, a new rider having some success early. Maybe he'll stay around for the rest of the series and realize that off-road riding is way more fun than motocross.
Well, that's what's funny. I can tell you the actual reaction because I just walked down there about 45 minutes ago, and he's with his grandpa, and I said, do you think your success here could now turn you into an off-road racer? And he both looked at his grandpa, and they both kind of looked back and said, well, where's the next race? Maybe. So they honestly had no plans of continuing, but if Amari can win this race, which he looks like he is on his way to doing, pending no big mistakes or any fatigue creeping up on him, I think you may see him in a couple weeks down at Blythe.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's good training, if nothing else. Like, we had Eli Tomac come out and do some training and when we were doing off-road stuff, when he was an amateur on the Amsoil Honda way back in the day. So kind of cool to see. But I would say that the difference between moto and off-road, moto is a lot more competitive and a lot more kind of cutthroat. Whereas you go into the off-road, and I mean, in off-road, it's more about fun. It's definitely not as cutthroat and a little bit more on the fun side, and kind of go from there. And everybody will take the shirt off your back to help. Where it seems like in moto they'll take the shirt off your back because they're fighting with you or something. So
well,
it's a little bit different. But right there, drone footage of the battle for third place.
Already coming up on lappers, Mark.
Yeah, Carson Tryon and Tyler Price going at it. Like this is definitely the battle to watch. We'll see if Carson can regroup and use some of these lappers to his advantage and get back around Tyler.
See some of our young ladies out there who we mentioned before competing in all different categories. Mark was able to shout out our 125 leader Cash Griffin. Brody Nestor also with a great run. Was able to check in with Liam O'Gara doing a great job with his team on a 125cc machine. Actually, a female on that team as well, Ellie Turley. Very interesting. She's so fast. She is winning a lot of races on a YZ 105. They've got an Athena big bore kit in it. And I asked her, she said she's actually faster on the 105 than the 125, but she's too young to get on the 250. So she says you got to wait a couple years.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and Yamaha makes a nice vendor row shot right there. Got the Dirt Bike Magazine motorhome right there, all white. We're hopefully going to be doing another.
Oh, here comes our big boy. Here he is, B636, feeling good. He's got the endurance factor.
It looks like that's Amari coming through right behind those guys.
What do you think is the suspension setup on Big Man's bike?
Oh, man, I don't know. That's I think it's awesome just to see him out.
I love it.
And getting the exercise, having fun. Like you said, it's one of those things to where it's there's something for everybody out here. So
he's an awesome dude. I love talking to him, and that's why there's this stigma. There he is again on the corner of our screen. As Amari's got to try to get by him right here. He may take up the good line. Actually, very gentlemanly of him gets out of the way so Amari can come through. We don't have any blue flags out there, but he's a cool dude, and there is this stigma that you got to be 125 pounds to be fast on a dirt bike, and that's just not the case.
Exactly. And that's like I said, we saw a legendary photographer off to the side of the road, or the course right there, Mark Correa, who we will actually see his photos in an upcoming issue of Dirt Bike Magazine, because I'm getting all my photos from him, and he's writing the story for it. So
Very
it's
cool.
Definitely a cool thing. Got to give a shout out to Brody Tryon, Carson's brother, who is out there, I believe, as well in the 125 class. I don't think he's on this sheet, but I believe he is out there. When I went back to change, I didn't see his bike sitting there, so we'll have to see if he's out there and running, getting stuff done on his motorcycle. I'm actually going to do a story against the two motorcycles, kind of a 250 versus 125 story, and see which one's better. Oh, rider down.
We were looking at Justin Ide moments ago on the 711. Now we got the 710 down. I think that is our medical team. Is that it might be our medical professional coming in. He does sometimes sweeps to make sure everybody's okay. 2 bikes down. Got 1 rider off to the side. Thoughts and prayers to them. Let's hope everything is okay. But I was talking about, this is why you want to race in a professional series where you got to have the best safety crew and you got people watching out at all times.
We got C2.
C279. We're trying to look over our sheet here. We'll get you a name just as soon as we can. Let's hope everything's okay. But based on the fact,
CRF 150.
Based on the fact that rider is up off the bike, walking around, that's a very, very positive sign. As we continue on, about 30 minutes into this season opening race before we kick off our pro main event, we watch Pro 2, whole bunch of changes there. Changes on Mitch Payton's Pro Circuit team, changes for KTM, changes for Husqvarna, changes on SLR Honda. It is going to be a battle coming up. Can't wait for that one. But we still got a ways to go in this one as the 228 of Roberts moves around at a very brisk pace. Mark, you've been off the bike for a little while with your injury. Was fatigue a factor at this racetrack when you get about halfway through that?
Not even halfway through. Halfway through the first lap.
Halfway through the first
I was, especially this morning, I was feeling it. I didn't get enough Advil in me, and before that. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you have an injury, breaking 7 ribs and doing some little bit of damage to a lung, and you can't do anything, especially over the holidays. Your gear doesn't fit anymore when you go to put it on. So I'm going to have to put an order into FXR and maybe get some bigger gear so that I can. That's not Timmy. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit interesting. My back's a little sore. I was kind of having to stand up a little bit more in that race. So yeah, fatigue when you've been off the bike is definitely a factor. And if you've maybe not hurt, but you've taken the holidays off, you're feeling it. That's the second day of racing. You're definitely feeling it. First day you're kind of yeah, I could do this, and then the second day you're kind of going, why did I do this? So it's definitely. And then like I said, this track is completely different than yesterday when it comes to how rough it is. You can see his bike bouncing around a little bit and going from there. But I think it's going to be hard for Amari to go back to motocross after this because it looks like he's out front having some fun.
Well, one thing I did gather from talking to him is he really wants to do well at Loretta Lynn's. Last year suffered a DNF, lost a back break after qualifying, so that's going to be on his radar this year. But as you said, getting involved in this series and maybe running for a championship could really complement his motocross skill set.
It definitely can't hurt. It's being able to go faster on stuff, being able to, when some of the other guys are a little bit freaked out on some of the speed.
Wow.
This is definitely going to help. So we'll see.
That straightaway is just massive. I can't believe.
Yeah. Imagine tapped out on a 450.
Man.
And then imagine later on the out on their motorcycles. Like I said, I'm riding a stock 450, KX 450 with stock gearing towards motocross, and you look at it and you go, yeah, you can gear up, but why would you want to go any faster than that?
That's right. And I had the luxury of taking a couple laps around here last year, and the one thing I don't know if our TV coverage is doing justice of is how off camber some of these turns are. So you really get a lot of speed on the straightaways, but then you got to mind your manners heading into some of these corners. They will humble you. You don't want to overshoot them. And as you can see right now, Amari using every inch of real estate to exit this corner. This is the motocross section as Amari looks right at home on these tabletops, getting some big air.
Yeah, and that 250F still having some issues making it over. Like, that's a hard landing. We got Timmy in second, and he didn't quite make it over that, and I didn't a couple times in my race, and my back's still feeling it.
You can see the dividing line. That's where we'll see pit stops later on today in our pro categories. They don't need pit stops here for 45 minutes. They can go the distance on fuel. In fact, interesting storyline for us coming up. I've heard a couple rumblings that a couple of the pros might think they might be able to go all 90 minutes on 3.2 gallons.
I don't know about that, but it is a thing to where you don't, surprisingly, you're not using as much gas as you normally do. But all of these riders in this class, you notice Timmy on his KX 450, he's got an IMS, I believe is what it is I think it's a 2.9 gallon tank. And that you wouldn't be able to make it on a stock tank, on the stock tank that comes on the bike, but you notice it's a white tank. Amari has one on his bike. it looks like that one, the one on Timmy's KX right here, is a quick dump system. Amari still has the fuel, the kind of the screw top system. But when we talk about the quick dump system, it's more of a fast dump can system that a Cheer Beast makes one as well. So I think most of the tanks that you'll see out here will either be IMS or a Cheer Beast oversized tanks.
Amari Arnold continues to lead the field around here, looking comfortable. He's got about 10 more minutes left to go to try to take the checkered flag and take the first win of this young NGPC season. So glad you guys are watching with us. This is some amateur coverage that we decided to bring you in Laughlin. Skaggs Racing was our great sponsor there. Racing Jack back in the sponsorship this time. But we do want to let everybody know, Mark, that if any companies out there want to get involved in this broadcast, spotlight some of the great amateurs with L&M Media Productions and Ross Fitz and crew, we're happy to do it. We got the camera crew. We got the toys. Let's give the spotlight to some of these great amateurs,
exactly.
Right?
I think we're going to have to talk to Stony Socks, and maybe we can get some Dirt Bike Magazine budget, because I know they got a huge budget over there. So
I love it.
Maybe we can trade in some cash for cans, some aluminum cans, and get some budget going that way.
Well, you will like this. Guess what hat Amari was wearing when I talked to him? It said MXA. So I know it's probably not your favorite hat, but maybe your second favorite hat, right?
It could be. It could be. I have my Precision Concepts hat on right now, but it looks like Carson Tryon coming up on Tyler Price. Maybe going to make a late move into the lead. Man, that is an amazing drone shot.
Yes, it is. Great job by Max Mixamo out of Arizona, one of our talented members here on this broadcast team. They just get better each and every year with the coverage, and we're so happy to bring it to you. And the one thing that gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling, like I said, I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so we didn't really think about dirt bike racing until like Easter some years. So I know there's a lot of people back in Ohio, New Jersey, elsewhere. We've got international audience. I know Mason Simmons' family from Australia. They're all watching with us. So again, down below, we want to know where you're watching from as this battle heats up. Here comes
Carson
Price.
Taking some alternate lines, doing some looking around.
Did he get him? He got him.
That was sweet.
A drag race into the corner. Will it stick? Price trying to fight back.
Outside.
Look at these two KTMs giving it everything they got in the late stages of this season opening affair from Delano, California.
That was a nice pass. He just snuck in. I don't even think Price knew that he would be able to get in that area. So now they go through the scoring chute. Man, this is heating up.
It sure is. It sure is. Interesting strategy here, too, by Carson. Did he wait to make his move? Is he feeling better? Is he feeling a little bit more comfortable on that's KTM with brand new suspension?
Like he's making some moves. He's getting out a little bit on him. So maybe he got it tightened up a little bit, and now he's going for it. I know that Carson is in really good shape because he does swimming and water polo and all kinds of stuff with his brother Brody Tryon. They play for the high school team in Norco, California. So I know he's in good shape, and he sometimes suffers with a little bit of arm pump, but he's been trying to get past that. But, man, it looks like he's on the move.
He is a great water polo player. In fact, I asked him, I said, be careful. That's how Moto KK broke her wrist. He said, she's actually on my team.
Yeah.
Moto KK's sister is my coach. I think I got a theory as to what happened, too. I think your good buddy from Stony Socks heard you starting to talk about how he might have to pay for the broadcast, and he gave the signal to young Carson, if I'm going to pay for this, you better get out in front in a hurry, because something has gotten in to the Stony Socks back KTM racer.
Well, and we'll see this lap. He might, and yesterday, about the third lap, he kind of came alive and got some stuff, and then I think he was adjusting to that shock, but now it might be a thing to where he's kind of going for it, so we got to see if Carson is going to be able to make up that gap to our 450 rider who's coming down right now. So
is Amari out of focus? Do we see, or is
right
that him?
There. That's him right there. So even that, not that far away, maybe 15, 18 seconds or so, maybe. So it's kind of he'll go up around on. There's a horseshoe out right after this. They kind of make a right turn and go up a hill and then turn around and do a horseshoe and come back down. So I know that he'll be able to see those guys. So there's our 450 rider. There's Amari right there. there's our second place 450 rider at the bottom of that hill. And then Carson, he's making up some time.
What a battle to bring this one home. Our B and C riders, NGPC next. This is the future of the sport. They get to run right before our pro categories, and boy, we have got a lot of talent out there.
Amari looking back.
I'm telling you. You know, we've been saying that all moto, though, and it seems like he's still able to hold the pace.
Yeah, that's an Achilles heel, though. Like, you gotta, if you're looking behind you, you're not focusing in front of you.
Right.
So it's definitely, you're kind of looking at it going, yeah, you gotta stop doing that. I mean, maybe in motocross, it's definitely not. It's frowned upon in motocross as well. But and our Timmy on that KX 450 is looking like he's getting closer. So Amari might have something to worry about.
And we got a lapper in plain view. And
wow.
I always talk about this, on a supercross track, motocross track, they'd be hitting that lapper with blue flags. As you can see, he doesn't know that a leader's coming behind him. He could probably hear the sounds, but held him up just a little bit there.
The roost here hurts.
Oh, I've heard that.
It definitely hurts. Wow. Timmy making up some time.
He is.
Going to the insides. It looks like Amari's going to the outside.
I think the lapper on the Suzuki might have slowed Amari up a little bit.
Yeah. But, yeah, the roost definitely does hurt. It doesn't feel good coming off any motorcycle here because usually it's dry and it kind of flies, but now it's wet, and when it hits you, it's heavy. And it doesn't feel good, that's for sure.
Wow, Amari is so fast on that downhill section as he continues to widen his gap. We'll see if the Kawasaki can give chase as we head in.
I don't think he's widening that gap. I think that gap's shrinking.
It seems like if I'm looking at this shot, and this is such a great shot where we can see it, you can tell the ebb and flow where it seems like the Kawasaki might be a little quicker in the corners, but I got to give it to Amari. He seems to pick up a little bit on the straights. He's over the pucker factor. He's holding that thing wide open.
Yeah, which is odd because that is a 450. You'd think he would be able to catch more, but like a couple of laps ago, Amari was already coming back the other way when they were going down. Lap riders, maybe
we got tons of lap riders coming up now
into play, but it looks like that they're starting to. They got to be coming up on the. Now here they don't do a white flag, checkered flag. They do a checkered flag at 45 minutes.
At 45 minutes,
man,
okay.
And he's catching him quick.
Oh my goodness, here we go, guys. What a suspenseful, thrilling conclusion to our BC race here. Season opening event for NGPC. Can the KTM rider hang on? Look at all the traffic he's got to contend with. I think that's the slowest we have seen him navigate through Orange Blossom Expressway so far, mainly because of the 4, 5, 6 people in front of him right now. Can't be easy.
Yeah, that gap is gone.
Mark, take me inside the mind of a racer. You're used to going top speed. Now you got this many people in front of you.
It's frustrating.
Woo!
It's definitely frustrating, and you got to be mentally strong. Now
Still
he's really
looking back.
So, yeah, Timmy right up on that KX 450, right up on the back wheel of Amari Arnold now. Not going to be coming in here and just walking away with it. And I think out of the corner of the shot, I saw Carson Tryon. He has kind of dropped. Look
at this, more
Tyler
lappers.
Price. So hopefully Tyler Price didn't have an issue.
I can't tell you what a disadvantage this is for the leaders running through these lappers.
This can get kind of scary too because they're coming up on the lappers pretty fast. They don't know they're there, and especially in these jumps.
Did you see Timmy get offline there?
He did. I had a lapper loop out right on this jump yesterday.
Amari still catching some big air, resting over those jumps, but look at the traffic. I will say the advantage goes to the second place rider when you run up on these lappers too, because the leader is the blue flag. The leader alerts them, get out of the way. As you can see case in point though, that wasn't the case there. Because remember,
Amari went to the outside, and that kid kind of went to the inside.
And to their credit, they're battling for position too. Exactly. They're still in their race. Remember, with the staggered start and different categories, it's not like they're totally out of this race. Look at the Kawasaki having a tough time getting around that racer. And here we go. Now we got clear track in front of us.
Yeah, Amari seemed to be using a lot of outside lines, and I think that's where Timmy's catching him.
Timmy's starting to reel him in. Amari's starting to slow down a little bit. Could fatigue be creeping up on the first-time off-road racer used to a much shorter motocross motor? Here comes that Kawasaki. Let us know in the comments. Are you Team Kawasaki? Are you Team KTM? Make sure you give this one a share. We want a big audience watching these guys from all over the world here on Racing Jack YouTube. Who's it going to be? I know who Mark Tilley's rooting for. He's Kawasaki green through and through. Thanks to all that great contingency they're paying, huh? How about that? But the KTM holding off the Kawasaki as for now. We still got a long way to go. Timmy smells blood in the water, though. Look at this. Timmy's making a move. Is the roost factor, the painful roost factor, going to be something that could
and you notice that he's not following.
Oh, look at this.
He's going on either an inside line or an outside line.
Oh! Timmy Delson to the inside! Almost contact! Timmy keeping it clean, stalking, lurking. Armani knows he's got problems now. He's got a dire situation. Armani with a fistful of throttle. Look at this. We've got 2 lapped riders coming up, Mark. Oh, my gosh. I've got goosebumps.
This comes into a tight section.
Amari all the way to the outside. That Kawasaki tries to find a way through.
They make contact.
The Suzuki right in the fast line. And here now up on the lapper on the KTM. Wow, what a battle. You got to give Armari credit for holding him off. Timmy is trying to find a way around him to the outside.
See how he's moving around? Good line selection.
Oh, Timmy to the inside. We've got a battle. What a battle. Here comes the Kawasaki. The Kawasaki takes the lead. Timmy Delson, after 38-plus minutes of battling, finds his way to the front. Can he make it stick?
Yeah, now can he just run away? Is Amari... Has he kind of blown his all his energy out? And, it looks like Timmy's starting to pull away already.
Wow.
The power might be a little bit of an advantage. And so think about it now. If he's going to get back around him, he's got to eat some of that 450 roost.
Wow.
So it looks like he's stretching out. He's doing about the same thing that Carson Tryon did once he got around Tyler Price. So now the big question is, where are we at on time? Is this the final lap?
I think we're getting, looking at my cell phone, I think we're getting close.
So we'll know right now if they come down.
Are we going to throw the checkers?
Is that that is the checkered flag?
So
he got it. Timmy making a quarter of a last lap pass to get the win.
Wow, but let's give credit to where credit is due. That man right there making his off-road debut.
He's stoked.
But Timmy's pumped up.
That's awesome.
Team Green Kawasaki taking the win here. Boy, there's going to be
got that Team Green Kawasaki all with the Pro Circuit pipe on it. Got the IMS tank. He's ready to go. He's going to go collect some contingency.
There's going to be a party in his pits. What a sweet way. Whoa, where'd that white Jeep come from? Be careful. We had a runaway white Jeep.
I wanted to see where, how far back Carson was at the end to see if he was making up time. But great ride from Amari. Great ride from Timmy on his KX450, getting the win. Getting lots of exposure for his sponsors. It's like USWE with a hydration system. Troy Lee Designs, Alpine Star. It's got.
Look at this!
Can't see what's on the side of his
hugs all around
on his bike, but IMS tank, Pro Circuit pipe. He's stoked, and it's great to see. I mean, these guys gave us a run. We got Tyler Price. There's Tyler Price that just pulled off the track, but you had Tyler Price and Carson Tryon going at it, and then you had Timmy and Amari Arnold going at it. So great racing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Brought to you by the Racing Jack YouTube channel, and hopefully we're going to see more. We're going to showcase a lot of these riders that are making that push maybe into the A class here very soon.
No doubt about it. Congratulations, Timmy Delson. Congratulations, Armani. Timmy, that was the equivalent, if this was football, of losing all game, taking the lead with about 25 seconds left to go and holding it. Big congratulations to him. Big thank you goes out to our L&N media team, Aaron Kennard, Ross Fitz, James Burtalk, all the boys out there in the trailer, Gio directing. Guys, make sure you smash subscribe because we want to keep this going. boring, that is for sure. We want to bring you coverage from each and every round. We appreciate you watching, and please, down below, let us know where you're watching from and join us in congratulating Timmy and Armani. Thanks so much, everybody. We're going to see you over on the NGPC YouTube channel for our main event coming up shortly from Delano, California. This has been round number 1 of the NGPC series. We'll see you for the pro event coming up in a little bit.